Welcome to today's Explainer. We are diving into a topic that honestly affects almost every single one of us, the midnight zombie. Today, we're completely decoding the mystery of our broken sleep cycles. We're going to break down exactly why we just can't seem to fall asleep at night, and then, on the flip side, why we absolutely cannot drag ourselves out of bed in the morning.
Let's be totally honest with ourselves for a second. Are you a 2 a.m. midnight zombie? I mean, we all know the feeling, right? You're lying there in a pitch black room, and your face is just illuminated by that harsh, bright glow of your phone screen. Your eyes are bloodshot, your hair is a total mess. It's 2 in the morning, and instead of actually sleeping, your brain is just in absolute overdrive. You're lying there overthinking the most random stuff, like what in the world are you going to wear to your cousin's wedding next month? Or even worse, you suddenly come up with the absolute perfect comeback for an argument you had like 3 years ago. And then the inevitable happens. That 7 a.m. alarm goes off, and it feels literally like a bomb exploding right next to your ear. You end up smashing that snooze button like it's your absolute worst enemy. You can't sleep at night, and you can't leave the bed in the morning. It's this vicious, exhausting cycle. But today, we're going to break it. So why do we get stuck in this awful loop? Well, it's mostly because of what we can call the blue light monster. Think of your brain for a second like a mobile phone battery. All day long, you're using it, right? You're playing games, studying, working, talking to people. By nighttime, that battery is completely drained and desperately needs to be plugged in and charged. But what do we actually do? We shove a blue light monster, our phone screen, right in front of our face. When that artificial light hits your eyes, your brain gets completely tricked. It literally thinks, oh, wow, the sun is still out. It must still be daytime. It gets super confused and incredibly stressed out. If you're an anime fan, think about the character Zenitsu from Demon Slayer. When Zenitsu gets scared or stressed, he just absolutely panics and can't function at all. Well, our brain is exactly like Zenitsu in that moment. It panics under the stress of that fake daylight and totally loses its ability to wind down and recharge. Now, Indian mythology actually offers a really fascinating comparison here. A lot of us know the story of Kumbhakarna, who was granted this magical boon of deep sleep, which let him sleep for 6 whole months at a time. Now, obviously, we don't want to sleep for 6 months straight, but our big problem is that we try to act exactly like Kumbhakarna at 7 a.m. when that alarm rings. We suddenly crave that heavy, immovable slumber right at the exact moment we're supposed to be waking up. Instead, what our goal really should be is to wake up with the active, totally unstoppable energy of Hanumanji, who famously leapt straight into the sky to chase the sun first thing in the morning. We basically need to shift our whole morning identity from the heavy sleeper to the energetic sun chaser. And this all builds into a major biological plot twist: sleep debt. Did you know that sleep can actually be stolen? It's true. When you stay up super late and rob yourself of, say, 2 hours of sleep tonight, those hours don't just magically disappear. Your brain actually acts exactly like a stubborn, cranky little child. You stole its rest tonight, so tomorrow morning, it is going to demand those 2 hours back. If you don't give your brain the sleep it genuinely means, it will punish you by absolutely refusing to let you wake up comfortably the next day. Literally, every single time you delay your bedtime, you are committing a crime against your own brain. And that horrible morning grogginess you feel, that's simply your brain serving justice. It's amazing because ancient wisdom perfectly aligns with modern sleep science on this. There's this great story in Buddhism where a monk asks Buddha, Siddhartha, what is the absolute most difficult task in life? Buddha didn't say it was meditating for days on end or climbing a massive mountain. He just simply replied, the hardest thing is to wake up at the right time and sleep at the right time. And why is that? Because a person who can master their sleep has fundamentally mastered their entire life. We only fear waking up in the morning because we've basically tortured our minds the night before. We are quite literally paying the penalty in the morning for the mistakes we made at midnight. Let me share a highly relatable, real-life story that brings this whole concept right down to earth. There was this student who viewed waking up early as just an absolute punishment. He was always late, he'd literally fall asleep during his exams, and he was just cranky all day long. But one day, he signed up for a marathon. Now, he knew his usual terrible habits wouldn't work. He thought, there is no way I'll ever be able to wake up for this. So he tried a trick. Instead of keeping his phone alarm right next to his bed like usual, he set a really loud, old-school traditional alarm clock and placed it in the far corner of his bedroom. The next morning, that incredibly loud alarm goes off. He was angry, obviously, but he had to physically get his body out of bed, walk all the way across the room, and manually turn it off. And you know what? That simple 10-second act of just walking completely shattered his sleepiness. He stayed awake, and he successfully finished his race that day. And right here is the absolutely crucial paradigm shift. Waking up early is not a test of your willpower, not at all. It is purely a physical action. We build up this massive psychological barrier in our heads, constantly telling ourselves we just don't have the mental strength to wake up. But the honest truth is, the moment you put your feet flat on the floor and take a few steps, you've already won the battle. Once you are physically out from under those heavy blankets, the spell of the midnight zombie is totally broken. It takes literally just 10 seconds of physical movement to defeat hours and hours of morning laziness.
So we've identified the problem, we know about the blue light monster, and we've busted the myth of morning willpower. Now enter what we call the sleep sanctuary formula. This is basically your ultimate multidisciplinary toolkit to win the nights that you can conquer the day. Let's break down the exact steps you need to take. The entire foundation of this sanctuary is the highly actionable 10-3-2-1 rule. It's just a simple countdown to perfectly wind down your body and your mind. Okay, so 10 hours before bed. Absolutely no more caffeine, no tea, no coffee. It honestly takes that long just to clear it completely out of your system. 3 hours before bed, no more heavy meals. You want to let your body focus on resting, not digesting a huge dinner. 2 hours before bed, no more work, period. Put away the emails, shut down the stress. And finally, 1 hour before bed, no more screens. Slay that blue light monster so your brain's battery knows it is finally actually time to power down. Building on that incredible foundation, we have 4 distinct mentors to guide your actual sleep technique. First up, from Buddhism, we have Buddha and the body scan, also known as Yoga Nidra. Right before sleeping, just close your eyes and mentally tell every single part of your body, from your head all the way down to your toes, relax, your work is completely done for the day. Second, looking at anime, we have Goku's discipline. Think about it. When Goku trains, he goes all out, but when he sleeps, he absolutely crashes into deep sleep. Train your brain by using your bed only for sleeping. Do not study or scroll on your phone while lying in bed. Third, from sports, we've got MS Dhoni, the ultimate Captain Cool. Why is he always so calm? Because he never ever loses today's sleep over tomorrow's worries. We need to adopt that exact mindset. Whatever happens tomorrow, we will handle it, but right now, I must sleep. And finally, from history, Benjamin Franklin. He famously championed an early-to-bed, early-to-rise schedule, building this incredibly rigid, consistent routine that famously made him healthy, wealthy, and wise. To anchor all of these great techniques in actual hard science, we turn to Matthew Walker, the author of the incredible book, Why We Sleep. He states it so clearly. Sleep is not an option, it is survival. Think of sleep kind of like watering a houseplant. Without water, a plant just wilts and dies, right? Well, sleep is literally the water for your brain. It is an absolute biological necessity, not some fun luxury that you can just negotiate away when you decide you want to binge watch just one more episode of a show. Biologically speaking, nighttime sleep is literally the physical process of cleaning the garbage out of your brain. During the day, all these toxins naturally build up in your mind. Sleep is basically the sanitation crew coming in overnight to clear it all out. Morning, then, is the grand opening of a freshly cleaned brain. If you refuse to sleep, you are literally hoarding garbage in your head. It becomes physically impossible to have a fresh, productive morning when your brain is completely bogged down by yesterday's mental trash. So tonight, when you finally go to bed, I have a challenge for you. Treat your phone not as your best friend, but as a total stranger that belongs in another room. Lock that blue light monster away and ask yourself this final provocative question. Tomorrow morning, when that alarm rings, are you going to hit snooze and lose to your old habits, or are you going to physically stand up, wake up, and totally win your day? The choice is entirely yours. Conquer your morning, take back your energy, and let's stop being midnight zombies. Thanks so much for exploring this with me.